Travelling from Aberdeen to Gloucestershire to see Scott, Claire and James, then Ross and Eleanor. So excited to see them all. Thanks to husband Graham for driving. Thank you from Gail. It's Anthony and Gillian driving around London in the Sprinter van, collecting and delivering machinery. Then we got the long drive back to Manchester later. Can we get a shout out? You got it. Done.
Oh, would you please remind me?
08000 288 291. Email steve.wright@bbc.co.uk. Text 88291 and tweet us at BBC Radio 2. Don't forget, you can say hello to your dog. And have you seen the first or second sign of spring? And here's the Bobster.
Thank you, Steve. First of all, to the Highlands, to Elness, the A9, still closed both ways. There's an accident between the Ardross turnoff and the Elness turnoff. The A723 at Carfin, we've got it closed both ways. Accident still being investigated between the Lonehead Road and the new Stevenston turnoff. The Stevenston turnoff, beg your pardon. Glasgow on the M8 on the westbound side, 14 to 15, so through to Townhead. Still slow, but the earlier accident is gone. A596 in Cumbria, High Scales, closed both ways. There's an accident still just between the Lanrig turnoff and the Blen Cogo turnoff. The M6 now, a number of problems. First of all, northbound 18 to 19, a lorry broke down toward Knutsford. One lane is shut. M6 northbound between 12 and 13, that's Gailey to Stafford South. We've got a breakdown there. One lane is shut. And the M6 southbound 11 to 10, we've got an accident just past Cannock towards Warsaw, so one lane is shut there. The M40 problems. Now, the M40 is now open, but northbound 11 to 12, there are still two lanes closed between Banbury and Gaydon. On the southbound side, 12 to 11, we've got one lane closed for recovery, so just be aware you can get through, but there's queues. And then to East London to Blackwall, the A1261, that's the Aspen Way. Eastbound it's open, westbound it's closed from Preston's Road at Blackwall to the Limehouse link, and that's causing big queues. M4 eastbound, we've got a breakdown just at 10 for Wokingham as a lane closed. Newport M4 eastbound, we've got another broken down lorry at 28. Back with another one for you now, half an hour's time.
Thank you.
We're turning back the clock and taking Radio 2
into the 90s.
Radio 2 90s. Celebrating the decade that gave us rave, Britpop, girl power and more.
Back-to-back 90s.
Join me, Fern Cotton, on a 90s night out. And Dermot's alternative sounds of the 90s.
Set your watch to 90s o'clock. Radio 2 90s.
Look for Radio 2 90s on BBC Sounds to listen.
Will do.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.
Now, taking a look at some more lifestyle and news. They've done a thing here in the Mirror earlier on by Stephen White, saying kids today are not following in grandmother's footsteps at all. In fact, 91% have never played the classic childhood game Grandmother's Footsteps. OK, so these are games and activities, they're saying here in this article, modern kids have never experienced. And you can tell me, Janie, because you've got 4 kids, if your I'll just read these out at random. Flying a kite?
Yes, when they were very young, yeah.
Picking up sticks?
Yes, they love that, the boys.
OK. Building a den in the woods?
Oh, yeah, loads of that. Oh, come on, that's still happening now.
OK. Tim, camping?
No, I don't think I've been camping with the 12-year-old, not even when she was younger, but she did like playing poo sticks. That's on the list as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Playing conkers, Tim?
Yep, done that. Love playing conkers still.
OK. Making mud pies, Janie?
Yeah, I think probably at the beach, certainly. I think we're blowing this survey out the water, aren't we? Because we've done them all.
Yeah, leapfrogging.
Yeah, of course, everyone does that, don't they?
Oh, crikey, I don't know.
Leapfrogging and hopscotch.
Oh, hopscotch. Yeah, I've forgotten all about hopscotch.
I don't think I do leapfrog very well these days, but I think kids still do much of this stuff, although there are so many more things that keep them inside these days, aren't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Number 2 is building a tree house, and Grandmother's Footsteps is 91% at number 1. Can you tell me what Grandmother's Footsteps is exactly?
Actually, I don't know that name. I mean, I would guess it's a little bit like What's the Time, Mr. Wolf, where you kind of move behind someone and then you have to freeze like a statue.
Yeah, that's
It's just a guess.
It's like statues. Somebody stands at one end of the room facing that wall, and then the rest of the group have to creep up on them, but they can turn around at any time, and if they see you moving, you go back to where you started from. So you've got to stay still feel when the person turns round?
I think that might have been a very good explanation, Tim. Thank you very much. Bobby Moore, 1941, born this day, the late Bobby Moore, in the anniversaries and what have you. David Cassidy, born this day, 1950, American teeny bop idol. And I've got a little story about him, actually, in my other sheet here. Two DJs on Los Angeles station KLOS, this day, 1989, asked whatever happened to David Cassidy. So the singer, it says, called the station up and the presenters invite him onto their show. David Cassidy at the time plays 3 songs live on the air and is subsequently signed by a new record label. That was this day, 1989. And I'm so sad that he's no longer with us. He was one of the first people I ever interviewed, and he was just fantastic. So David Cassidy would have had his birthday today. And this day, 1967, Mick Jagger is punched in the face by an airport official during a row at Le Bourget Airport in Paris. Mick not loses his temper, but is slightly angered after the Stones' entourage was being searched for drugs, resulting in them missing a flight. In the end, they found nothing, but this was 1967, mind you. OK, let's have a look and see what else we should do. Oh, David Letterman has his birthday today. US talk show host, currently working on Netflix. This is his old theme. Fantastic. It's The Late Show with David Letterman. I don't know anybody in this game that didn't want to be David Letterman. Let's have a look and see what's going on BBC Sounds there, Janie.
Yeah, John Bishop is the latest guest on the Tony Ballou is Angry podcast on BBC Sounds. As well as telling Tony what makes him angry and how he deals with it, John also talks about his love of Richard Pryor and the first time he did stand-up.
What happens in comedy clubs, you have a red light that flicks where it's your time's up. And because I didn't know what the rules were. I didn't know that I was supposed to do 7 minutes. And I remember standing on the stage. I remember saying, "Oh, your light's broke because it keeps flickering on and off." And then I just carried on. And then I carried on talking. I was meant to do 7 minutes. I think I did about 25. And when it came off, the brilliant comic Mick Ferry was comparing, and the fellow who ran the place came over to me and said, "Where have you been doing your stand-up?" I said, "I've never done it anywhere." He said, "You've not done it before?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, why don't you come back and start doing it every Monday night?"
You can stream or download the Tony Ballou is Angry podcast on the BBC Sounds app or go to bbc.co.uk/sounds.
BBC Sounds.
I saw the fire.